Hello, everybody. Welcome to Minnesota Sports HQ. I'm Ben. We got some oatmeal in the house tonight. We got Parker over here making some
Chicken dumpling soup.
chicken dumpling soup, I guess. So pretty good. The midnight snacks are going strong, and yeah, also the Wild, the Wolves, and the Gophers men's basketball teams played tonight, and we'll talk about those in the video. All right, guys, so let's get straight into it. We're going to start off with the Minnesota Wild. The Wild played the New York Rangers today. We had Devin Dubnyk in net, and it was an interesting game. We took the lead 3-0 about midway through the first period, and New York got one right back to make it 3-1 going in at the end of the first. And then New York scored again halfway through the second period to make it 3-2. And at that point, I was pretty worried. I mean, we have given up a 3-goal lead to Phoenix in our last couple of games. So I was kind of worried about what was going to happen, but our defense held through overall in the end, and the Wild get the victory over the New York Rangers. So we'll look at how that affects the wild card race. Minnesota currently holds the second wild card spot with 68 points from 56 games. We have a game in hand over Dallas, who is 2 points above us. So if we win that, we'll be tied with them on 70 points. We are 3 points up on Los Angeles. We are also 3 points up on the Anaheim Ducks, but we have 2 games in hand. And then we are 4 points above the Colorado Avalanche, but they have a game in hand. And it's really nice to see Chicago down there with 56 points from 56 games, not doing well at all. Now, a look at the division. The Wild are in 5th. Obviously, Colorado and Chicago are behind us. We could catch up to Dallas for sure. We could also catch up to St. Louis if we win some of our games in hand. We are 4 points behind them with 3 games in hand, so we could catch them. We're a little bit behind Winnipeg, but I mean, I guess if we have a good run and they have a bad run, we could catch up to them. But I think Nashville's in the clear and going to win the division now. A look at basketball. Now, the Wolves played the Rockets and had a pretty good lead early, but that lead disappeared by halftime and got worse by the end of the third quarter, and by the end of it all, we end up losing 126 to 108 to the Houston Rockets. Now, I'm not too worried about this loss. I mean, the Houston Rockets are 43-13. I mean, that's just ridiculous. They had some bench guys really step up for them. Eric Gordon got 13. Ryan Anderson got 21 off the bench. I don't even know who he is, and he got 21 off the bench. So what's that saying? And James Harden always goes off against us, had 34 points. Chris Paul chipped in with 13. Clint Capella had 14, and PJ Tucker had 10. Now a look at what Minnesota had to offer. It was not Wiggins' night. He had 40 minutes on the floor, but he only had 7 points. He shot 14 times and made 2. 0 for 5 from 3. That is ridiculously bad. That is awful. Taj Gibson had 12 points. Cat had a point a minute with 35 points. He also had 12 rebounds. Jimmy Butler had 15 points, and Jeff Teague had 25 points. Jamal Crawford had 11 off the bench, and yeah, pretty much nobody else had anything. Tyus Jones went 0 for 3 from the field. So, I mean, if we would have had Wiggins and Tyus firing on all cylinders, we probably would have beaten this Rockets team. Now look at how that affects the standings. As I said, the Rockets are now 43-13. The Wolves are now 35-25. So Houston, half a game off of the Warriors. If they win their next game, they are tied with the Golden State Warriors for that #1 seed. And somehow we're only a game behind San Antonio. We both have 35 wins, but they have 2 less losses. So, if they lose both of their next 2 games, we'll be tied with them. And then, unfortunately, Oklahoma City has been riding a very good streak lately. They're 32-25, or 32-26. My apologies. Portland is also 2.5 games back, 31-26. Denver is 3 games back, and so is New Orleans. So we are 3 games away from not being in a playoff spot, which is actually ridiculous considering how well we started the season. I really thought we were going to have the 4th seed, like, guaranteed, But that hasn't happened. Also, another thing I wanted to mention is the Gophers basketball team played today. And yeah, it was not good. We played the #2 in the country, Michigan State, and yeah, we got spanked. Like, it was bad. Yeah. Basically, Michigan State went 10 for 12 behind the arc in the first half, which is awful. The Gophers have lost 8 straight, which is not good at all. Really big for them, though. Jaren Jackson had 27 points. Cassius Winston had 12. He really looks like Teddy Bridgewater. Nick Ward had 13. And Bridges only had 5 points, which I feel like we could have beaten him, but of course, I mean, Jordan Murphy had 16 points. Nate Mason had 14, and Isaiah Washington had 18. That's not a team. Jameer Harris had 7. I mean, literally, we had 2 points from other people. Like, Michigan State's bench has, like, 4 more players than we do, which is ridiculous. But, yeah, we got murdered. Michigan State was up 43-25 at half. It was a little better in the second half. They won 44-32. So the final score was 87-57. So now Michigan State is 25-3, looking like a strong contender in the bracket. And Minnesota is now 14-14. We are 3-12 in Big Ten play to make our overall record 14-14. So at one point we were 11-2, and we've lost our last 8. That's bad. The only team we could probably beat is Rutgers or Illinois. That's about it. We might be able to beat Iowa, but my word, what a season it could have been, and what a season it has been. The ACL injury to Eric Curry, and of course the sexual assault scandal with Reggie Lynch, and then Amir Coffey being out some time with a shoulder injury. So it's just kind of all gone wrong, hasn't it? I thought we were ranked number 14 in the country, and now we probably won't even make the NIT. I mean, we just don't have the depth at all. We don't have our 2 best players, and yeah, it's just kind of all gone wrong. So, basically what to take from today, the Wild won. They looked pretty good over the Rangers, but the Wolves lost. Pretty hard game, pretty high scoring game too. But yeah, Gophers basketball is down the drain. Hopefully they can get it back next year, but it's going to be ridiculous. We don't have any Minnesota sports tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I want to do like a Viking season review or the Twins season preview. I know the Twins are still making moves, but we'll see what happens. So expect one of those tomorrow, and we'll see you then. Have a good night, everybody.